Hello, good morning everybody. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Dr. Gopal Singh Mehta and today we are going to talk about fluency. Yes, you heard it right, fluency. How to be fluent in speaking out English language, which is not our native language, of course, but we want to sound fluent and confident. But why we are not able to really be that way? So there are some reasons and the reasons are our own creation. Yes, you heard it right. They are our own creation. Because we are actually harboring some wrong concepts in our mind when it comes to speaking out English language. We are attaching too much of importance or value to speaking out this language. And that is becoming a burdening concern in our mind. To be really speaking out this language correctly, grammatically correct way. So that somewhere is stopping us from becoming fluent and confident speaking out this language with others or under any kind of situations. So the one thing that I would share with you, and that's how I experience it, is that we have to stop putting so much of importance to speaking out this language correctly. So we are kind of fearing making mistakes while we are speaking. So that's taking most of our attention. So if your attention is diverted to something that is intimidating you, so how can you play out your natural self to something that is the actual desirability? I mean, to speak out, at least to speak out fluently and confidently, that you won't be able to really do, because your mind remains occupied with the fear of making mistakes. You understand that? So my dear friends, get yourself right. I think in your own thinking that you have to do away with that kind of the fear that you are going to make mistakes. Mistakes, if even happen, they are not going to judge you as a person. So everything about you is not going to be judged by the fact that you are making mistakes in speaking out this language. So that's what actually you are doing, an injustice to yourself. You are attaching too much of importance to sounding grammatically correct when you speak out this language. Do you really think too much about speaking when you speak in your own native language? I don't think so. We start speaking it so spontaneously. We don't think even about to be really making good sentences or to be speaking grammatically correct. No. I think the same way we also have to behave when it comes to speaking out English language. So do away with the kind of the fear that you are harming in your mind about making mistakes while you are speaking in this language, my dear friends. First thing, because even if you listen to native speakers, they are also making mistakes. Frequently, but they are being confident, they are being fluent, they are making their points to be understood by the others. So our intention has to be to speak this language and to make our points understandable to the others. So you should really aspire to be understood rather than to be admired, isn't it? So when you relax yourself a little bit about speaking this language out and you don't pay too much of concern or too much value to the mistakes, then I think you are going to be your own self, a true self. You are going to play out it openly. You are going to express yourself the better way. You are going to speak out in a manner, and you are always trying to make yourself speak in a manner that you are understood. So something very naturally is going to come out from within you, my dear friends. You are going to have a connect with your audience or to the person who is listening to you, and the other person is actually getting your point of what you wanted to say, irrespective of whether you spoke it grammatically correct way or not. That's not going to be a matter then. So I have really seen many people who have that kind of the courage to be on this stage and speaking out this language, despite them knowing that they perhaps are not speaking it correctly, grammatically correct way, but still they are able to speak it. And They even don't care what the other people are thinking about them. They just try to really make their points understood. So that's basically is something that would definitely break your fear of making mistakes. So once we come out of that fear, I think we become more comfortable to become fluent in speaking out this language. So this is one reason where we have to really correct ourselves. We have to really consider this language as a tool, as our own native language, to convey our ideas, our thoughts to a wider section of the society. That's all. So it's not that your whole worth is going to be judged by the fact that whether or not you are speaking English language correctly. So that shouldn't be the criteria. So we have to correct our fault lines, my dear friends, and this is one way of improving yourself when it comes to communication skills in English language. And that's how we are going to sound so natural, and that's how we are going to take out words from our minds and to express ourselves the better way. So the more we open about speaking this language at every opportunity, I think the more fluent we are going to be in coming times. So first, again, I'm stressing on the point that we should come out of this fold of fear that we are just being inside. We have wrapped ourselves with that kind of the fear, that kind of the burden that if we don't speak correct English, we are going to be discarded by everybody. No, don't seek validation from others to be really speaking correct or not. You have to really speak out. Just you are trying to speak out to prove your point or to convey exactly what you think about some issues, isn't it? So you are not seeking validation, you are not seeking an admiration from others. It's a completely a different aspect. So the easier we consider things in our life, the more comfortable we would become about them, isn't it? So we have ourselves created the kind of complexities around some things that actually stop us from becoming our true self. So if you want to improve your fluency in speaking out this language anybody else, you will have to do away with the fears of making mistakes, my dear friends. Mistakes are just a part and parcel of every journey, and people understand it pretty well that you are not a native speaker of this language, and even native speakers are making mistakes. The point is not whether or not you are making mistakes. The point is that whether or not you are able to express yourself the better way. So if people understand you what you want to say, I think that's enough for them, and they are going to overlook the mistakes that you are making. Perhaps at least you are trying, you are attempting on to speak out this language, you are trying to really say something out of your own inner ability or your own desire. You are exercising your mind to say something. You are struggling though, but at least you are taking that kind of action to speak out something. So once you put yourself into action of speaking, you should be making yourself better at it. Definitely without action nothing is going to really help us, and it's all what we can do about improving our fluency in English language. So first thing is that we will have to break the barrier of that fear. We'll have to come out of that fold of fear that is wrapping us, and I think the way I'm speaking right now, it is just the same way you can also practice speaking this language out. Just one thing we have to really make clear to our mind, that whenever we are going to speak out this language, you shouldn't be giving a damn to really making mistakes. Even if you are making, nobody really makes mistakes deliberately, of course, but mistakes happen, and if they happen, it's okay. It doesn't mean that we should really shrink ourselves away. Now we are making mistakes, we are worthless people. No. So that's kind of the fear we have really attached to our mind about really sounding so much perfect. No, perfection, wherever you think of perfection, I think you are going to be burdened with too much of responsibility, and where the other aspects are not able to play out that good or that naturally. My dear friends, for today I think this is sufficient. Thank you.